ladies and gentlemen, we are live in Alabama at the Elmore Gymnasium in front of 5,385 people. This is NXT The Game 16, Season 1, Episode 42. We are just a few days removed from the NXT TakeOver Toronto special, in which Andrade Cien Almas, with the help of his brother Messias Almas, defeated Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship. Let's get straight into action. The camera is pointed right at the stage as Andrade Cien Almas' theme hits, and he slowly makes his way onto the NXT ramp as the fans lay into him immediately with tons and tons of boos. Almas puts his hands up as if to say one moment, pretends to check his phone, and laughs. Immediately, a huge man identified as none other than his big brother Messias Almas shows up behind them as the siblings walk down the ramp and towards the ring. A screw you Almas chant begins as Andrade has a mic and has began to talk. Andrade says that they are looking at the new NXT champion. The fans boo again. Andrade said he did exactly what he said he was going to do at NXT TakeOver Toronto. He kept it 100. Andrade says that he proved that he was the rightful #1 contender and without fail defeated Drew McIntyre and became the NXT champion. Speaking of Drew, so this angle got the show off to a hot start. This angle got the crowd hotter, a 90A rating. Our best segment in NXT thus far between the brother combo of Andrade Cien Almas and the former Ricky Banderas, King Cuerno, and Lucha Underground. Ooh, excuse me, I'm a little tired this morning. Makes his debut here as the brother of Andrade Cien Almas. All right, now Drew McIntyre showed up on the ramp. He says it's sort of poetic justice, jokingly, given the fact that I defeated Bobby Roode with a contested finish. You did the same to me with the aid of that bitten Mexican right behind you, says Drew McIntyre. Andrade looks at his brother, who hasn't moved yet. Drew says that he shouldn't get he shouldn't get too comfortable because in just 2 weeks' time, he's getting his rematch here live on NXT for his NXT Championship. The fans cheer. McIntyre tells him to shut up, and the fans boo again. McIntyre also heel, if you recall. McIntyre says he's not stupid enough to come down to the ring right now. He'll admit he's feeling a bit beat up from last Saturday, but in 2 weeks that championship is coming back where it belongs, and that is around the waist of Drew McIntyre. It's coming back to Drew McIntyre. Now, as you recall, this was a heel-heel matchup. Went over decent, got a 59 rating, could have been better, but we were also in Canada, so I'm excited to see what these can do. Well, what these two will do stateside. Angle got the crowd hotter. Andrade came across well. The Making an Impact storyline has advanced to gain heat 83B+. So that's very, 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 very good. Andrade Cien Almas, our NXT champion, after with the help of Messias Almas defeating Drew McIntyre at NXT TakeOver Toronto. So we're just a few weeks away also from the NXT The Game 16's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. That will be happening in, I think, 2 or 3 shows' time. 2 or 3 shows after that, we will have our TakeOver special, and then we will head into our, so very quick actually, turn around for TakeOver special, really like WWE's time frame. I think it's like 5 or 6 shows, events, weeks, whatever you want to call it. But then we'll head into a 10-week build for Legacy, our WrestleMania. All right. So next, we see Tom Phillips, Nigel McGuinness, and Steve Corino as they welcome us to NXT. Phillips notes other big stories with Christopher Daniels defeating Aleister Black square off in the center of the ring, the authors of Pain retaining their NXT Tag Team Championships for a 13th time, and the return of Bayley and Sasha, aka Hug Life, to confront the iconic duo, Sans iconic trio, and the sobering news of Mr. NXT suffering an injury mid-match against the glorious one, Bobby Roode. So a 62C here for the announcers. All right, we see William Regal shaking hands with the Evolved Tag Team Champions Fred Yehi and Tracy Hot Sauce Williams, as they'll be in action taking on the Crow's Nest coming up next. Yehi and Williams are just one of the 16 teams entered into the single-day NXT Dusty Rhodes 4-hour Tag Team Classic. 76B-. That's right, you heard it correct. 4-hour single-day NXT Tag Team Classic. Should be very interesting. We see a limo pull up and out steps Bobby Roode. He defeated Mr. NXT at NXT TakeOver Toronto just a few days ago when NXT got hurt and was unable to compete. So a 57C minus. Off screen, that was an accident, but we're really just getting everyone back on the card. As you recall, my last show before TakeOver, my first show hour, really a lot of segments, a lot of hype, a lot of recap. So these episodes will move quicker than some of the other episodes. And about that, I had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. The Crow's Nest defeat Yehai and Williams in 13 minutes when Masada defeats Tracy Williams by pinfall with a Masada-mizer. Williams is not suited. The commentary boosted us. We had a 37 and 43 for Yehai and Williams. Masada and Dons with a 50 and 58. Tracy Williams is improving in technical skills. Dons is improving in performance skills. That's good. Dons has actually been quite improving. So I don't know if he's going to get a singles run eventually, but his performance and skills have really improved. A 55C minus between these two teams here on NXT TV this week. All right, the Evolve Tag Team Championship. Champions Fred Yehan and Tracy Williams have just lost against the Crow's Nest in their NXT debut, but breaking news as revealed on the bracket, they will be facing them in the first round, the round of 16 at NXT TakeOver. Well, not NXT TakeOver, at NXT's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, so they'll get another chance at Dons Masada of the Crow's Nest. I don't know why I said they picked up the big win. They didn't pick up the big win, but they will be facing Crow's Nest again at NXT. At the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Memorial Classic. No work or improvements, 52D+. So, could have been worse. Could have been better. But not too bad. Ruby Riott is shown walking backstage hallway on her way to a ring. She was screwed out of her NXT Women's Championship opportunity by the Iconic Trio. Despite having Candice LeRae and Ember Moon in her corner at NXT TakeOver Toronto, she'll be in action next. We're quickly shown a recap of Peyton Royce cheating to retain her NXT Women's Championship. We didn't see them celebrating, but later in the evening and running into Bayley and Sasha, a.k.a. Hug Life. Bayley and Sasha will be here next week. Peyton Royce is getting better. The women new normal storyline has advanced. No work or improvements. 67 C+. And about that, I had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Ruby Riott defeats Bridges in 9:25 with the Heidi Ho. The announcing quality lifted the match. Ruby with a 51, Bridges with a 53. Riott is improving performance skills, so that's great. 56C minus. This was basically just to get Ruby Riott her win back after losing at NXT TakeOver Toronto via cheating. Next, and about that, I had decent wrestling. No Way Jose defeats Tommy Mercer in 8 minutes with the sit-down crucifix powerbomb. Phillips Corino have good chemistry. Announcing lifted it. 64 for Jose, 35 for Mercer. No work or improvements, but a 53C minus in a squash match. Well, not a squash match, a glorified squash match for No Way Jose and the one night only Tommy Mercer, who was, I believe, Crimson in TNA, I believe. One moment. All right. Next, we see the camera showing Bobby Roode backstage, who turns the corner and heads into the room marked NXT Commish. He wants a shot at the championship, I'm sure. So we're going to get no work or improvements, but a 77B between Bobby Roode and William Regal, setting up stuff for next week and for, the future. Next, we get highlights of Adam Cole's redemption against Crow at NXT TakeOver Redemption. At NXT TakeOver, I don't know why it says redemption. I probably put redemption because he gets his, we see highlights of redemption, but we get highlights of Adam Cole's redemption against Crow at NXT TakeOver Toronto. He'll be in action next. No improvements, 62C for Adam Cole. I apologize for all the yawning, guys. It is super late, but I wanted to get this out before I went to sleep and went to work the next day. So, yeah, anyways, so Adam Cole with a 62C. Next, and about that, I had a decent reaction, but subpar wrestling. Adam Cole defeats Murphy in 9:33 with a high-flying crossbody. Velvet Sky did good ring work at ringside. Cole and Murphy don't seem to click. 52 for Adam Cole, 40 for Murphy. Ringside improvements, nothing. 52D+. Now, again, as I've said, if you guys have suggestions for Adam Cole, baby, please let me know. I'm really struggling with any and all ideas for Adam Cole, so if you guys could leave feedback or, suggest something, that'd be great. Next, we get Adam Cole celebrating the ring post-match, as Velvet Sky just looked at him, with Blake helping Murphy to his feet. Adam Cole, after defeating Crow at NXT TakeOver Toronto, has won again tonight here on NXT, so we're just improving Adam Cole's victory. We don't have a lot to do with him right now. He's kind of being used as one of our upper mid-carders who wins matches on TV, which is great. He's not losing. He's not being defined down, but he doesn't really have a program right now after Crow's Nest just ended. I'm probably not going to give him one at TakeOver for the upcoming takeover, but he will be in the NXT Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, so that's good. The camera goes backstage quickly as we see Liv Morgan has just watched Adam Cole win. She's kind of piercing her lips, kind of giving Adam Cole a look. He doesn't know what's going on, but she has her eye on Adam Cole. Did I click it? I didn't. Alright, and an extremely short match. Aaliyah draws with Billie Kay in 4:56 when the referee lost control and stopped the match. Basically, the Iconic Trio came out and did exactly what they do. It's a draw officially, but really it's a win for Aaliyah. No worker improvements, a 50D plus between these two women. The camera sits now on No Way Jose as he's walking in the back, celebrating a hard-fought victory against tonight's enhancement talent, Tony Mercer. No Way Jose runs straight into the NXT champion now, Andrade Cien Almas, in which Andrade curses at No Way Jose in Spanish and walks away from him. But No Way Jose knows exactly what he's saying. No Way Jose calls out Andrade and tells him that he's changed. He said they used to party together after NXT tapings. He said, have fun, have a blast, but now look at him. No Way Jose says that Andrade Cien Almas has sold out. He's a shell of his former self. Andrade says, Poppy, I'm the champ. If that's a sellout, then I'd sell out every day. From behind, No Way Jose, who's bigger and taller than Andrade, remember? Messias Almas then comes up and bumps into Jose, who's rather large, but has to look up. Andrade motions that he's got it. Andrade then challenges No Way Jose to a match next week, in which No Way Jose immediately accepts. Andrade taps his championship before leaving. Now remember, he's facing Drew McIntyre in 2 weeks, but first, next week, he'll face No Way Jose in a non-title match. So maybe he's going to be a fighting champion after all. I don't know. The champion comes across well. That's great. 81B. No worker improvements, though. William Regal has given the authors of Pain your NXT Tag Team Champions a few weeks off. They'll be here in 2 weeks as they prepare for the NXT Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. But to our main event, and about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction for the crowd. DIY defeats the Young Bucks in 12:50 when Johnny Gargano defeats Matt Jackson by pinfall with the Tier 2. DIY gets their win back against the cheating, ludicrously over-the-top Young Bucks in the main event, 73B-. This was fantastic. Glad to see that their match was higher rated than the one that they had in Canada. This match was built to the high spots. So, Ciampa with a 55, Gargano with a 58, the Young Bucks with an 80 and 77. That's absolutely fantastic. The fan favorite storyline has advanced. No worker improvements, but DIY celebrating in the middle of the ring for the first time in quite a while to end NXT tonight. The Young Bucks, though, are indicating that this program is not over yet. And that's all right. Doesn't have to be over yet, but for their second match ever, DIY in the main event of NXT TV gets the victory over the Young Bucks. And I'm ecstatic that this got such a good rating because I didn't want to have one more blow-off match with them. 76, our best show ever. Absolutely fantastic. This is our best show ever here in the NXT The Game 16 save. Fantastic. I'm very thrilled. There's a lot of directions that I have coming up. We're going to have the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in about 2 or 3 shows time, then another TakeOver in 2 or 3 show time, and then a long build to Legacy, our WrestleMania pay-per-view. So, guys, this was NXT The Game Season 1, Episode 42. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back with another episode of NXT The Game 16 very shortly, but thanks for watching, and have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.